Good evening aspirants, welcome to daily editorial analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 24th March 2025. We are going to discuss two important editorial articles here. The first article is about balancing the economic growth with the environmental sustainability for achieving the Viksit Bharat 2047. The second article is about the challenges in ENSO or Monsoon forecast. So these are the two important editorial articles we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this article. India has set an ambitious goal of becoming Viksit Bharat by 2047. Here the Viksit Bharat means developed India. However, in order to achieve this, the country must carefully balance the economic growth with environmental sustainability. This is crucial because the rapid industrialization and also the urbanization has led to high pollution levels and resource depletion. Additionally, India has committed to achieving the net zero carbon emission by 2070. So all this means that India must take significant steps to reduce its dependence on fossil fuels and move to cleaner energy sources. So in this context, we are going to discuss why India needs to balance the economic growth with environmental sustainability and what are the steps taken by India in order to this. Now let us get into the discussion. Here we are going to see about why India needs to balance economic growth and environmental sustainability. The first important reason is preventing the economic slowdown. See, India's economy is highly dependent on climate sensitive sectors like agriculture, manufacturing and energy. For example, the natural disasters such as flood, drought and heat waves have disrupted these sectors. So it has led to financial losses in past years. Studies also estimate that India's GDP can shrink by 2.8% by 2030 due to climate change. So by investing in green growth strategies and renewable energies, India can build a stable and shock resistant economy. So preventing economic slowdown is an important factor for balancing the economic growth with environmental sustainability. The next important reason is energy security. Currently 55 to 60% of India's electricity comes from coal. So coal is a fossil fuel which is not only expensive but also highly polluting. Depending on the increase in cost of coal, India is highly reliant on imports and contributes to the environmental degradation. So shifting towards solar, wind energy, hydro energy or hydrogen based energy can make India self-sufficient and also reduce the energy cost. The third important reason for this is creating jobs in green economy. The transition to sustainable industries can create millions of new jobs in the areas of renewable energy, electric vehicles and sustainable infrastructure. According to estimates, India can generate 37 million jobs by 2030 through green economy. So creating new jobs is also an important factor in this. The next important reason is attracting global investment and trade benefits. Nowadays, many countries are introducing strict trade policies which penalize the high polluting economies. For instance, the European Union has introduced a carbon border tax. This means that goods from other countries with high carbon emissions will face extra tax. So India has to adopt the green policies, otherwise its import can suffer. The next one is improving public health by reducing pollution. Industries which rely on coal, oil and other fossil fuels cause air pollution, water contamination and other health problems. So they can cause lung diseases or heart issues. So reducing dependence on these energy sources and promoting more cleaner alternatives will lead to improved public health. So this improved public health will result in lower healthcare cost and a more productive workforce. So this is also beneficial to us if we move toward a sustainable economy. The next important reason is fulfilling the climate commitments and reducing the global pressure. India has an aim of achieving net zero emissions by 2070 and it also aims to install 500 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030. So in order to meet these targets, not just environmental reason but also to maintain India's reputation, we need to adopt the cleaner energy and move towards the greener economy. So these are the reasons why India should balance the economic growth with environmental sustainability. Now what are the steps India should take in order to achieve this balance? First one is expanding the renewable energy. India needs to rapidly expand the solar, wind, hydropower or nuclear energy capacity in order to reach its renewable energy target of 500 gigawatt by 2030. The National Green Hydrogen Mission is an important step in this regard. The next one is reducing carbon emissions from industries. Industries must adopt a cleaner manufacturing process, carbon capture technologies and circular economy approach. The construction sector should also use low carbon materials and they also should promote the energy efficient strategies. The faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, that is FAME scheme, supports this transition by offering subsidies to EV buyers. The next important step is making agriculture more climate resilient. Since agriculture is highly affected by climate change, India must promote the sustainable farming practices. The agricultural practices like precision farming, organic fertilizers and water conversion techniques can be used to promote the sustainable agriculture. The National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is an important step. So developing the drought resistant and high yield crop varieties is also essential to ensure the food security. In addition to this, methane emissions from livestock and rice farming has to be reduced by promoting the biofuels and improving the livestock management. National Bioenergy Mission is an important step here. Next one is strengthening the policies and governance. In order to encourage the sustainability, India should introduce a carbon pricing mechanism such as carbon tax or cap and trade system. So this will make the polluting industries pay for their emissions. The National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change supports initiatives to adapt the climate challenges. Green budgeting can help drive the eco-friendly innovations. Now let us see what are the challenges India faces in achieving the sustainable development. As we have discussed earlier, high dependence on fossil fuel, slow renewable energy transition, high carbon emissions in industries, challenges in electric mobility, agricultural sustainability issues, weak environmental regulations, financial barriers. So green projects require high financial investments and many private investors hesitate to invest in the green investments. So these are important challenges which India face for adopting the sustainable economy or moving towards more climate resilient economy. Now let us see some points as a way forward. First one is expanding the renewable energy capacity to meet the 500 gigawatt target. Next one is promoting low carbon manufacturing and energy efficient buildings. Third one is strengthening the climate resilient agriculture by adopting the precision farming, drought resistant crops and biofuel technologies. Next one is implementing the stronger environmental policies and enforcing the carbon pricing mechanism. Next one is boosting green finance through sovereign green bonds or climate funding. The last one is training a skilled workforce in green industries. So these are the important steps that India can take for faster adoption of green economy. So in this discussion we have seen why India should transition from a sustainable economy and what are the challenges ahead and what are the way forward. So with this, let us conclude the discussion. Here we are going to discuss an important climate phenomena called El Nino Southern Oscillation, also known as ENSO. We have heard the terms like El Nino and La Nina, but how do they influence the Indian monsoon? Let us discuss about this in this topic. El Nino Southern Oscillation or ENSO, it is a natural repeating changes in the temperature of Pacific Ocean and also the wind patterns in the Pacific Ocean. These changes happen in cycles and have a major influence on global weather and also on Indian monsoon. The El Nino Southern Oscillation is comprised of two phases. One is El Nino and another one is La Nina. El Nino is a warmer phase. It occurs when the central and eastern Pacific Ocean becomes warmer than usual. So El Nino is a warmer phase. This happens due to the weakening of trade winds over the Pacific Ocean. So trade winds blow from east to west, and when the trade winds weaken, there is a warming of Pacific Ocean and this warmer phase is called El Nino. This El Nino disrupts the normal weather patterns and also leads to less rainfall in India because it adversely impacts the Indian monsoon. So El Nino is a negative for India. The next one is La Nina. It is the opposite of El Nino, which means it is a cooler phase. It also happens in the same Pacific Ocean, but it is cooler than usual. This is due to strengthening of trade winds. In El Nino, there is weakening of trade winds in La Nina there is strengthening of trade winds. In El Nino it is warmer phase, La Nina it is cooler phase. So due to La Nina, Indian monsoon is positively impacted, which means India gets more rain during La Nina. So La Nina gives more rain to India and El Nino gives lesser rain to India. So this is a very important difference. And beyond this warmer phase and cooler phase, there is also a neutral phase where neither El Nino nor La Nina is strong. So there are three phases, and combined these three phases are called El Nino Southern Oscillation or ENSO. Beyond this El Nino and La Nina, there is another important factor which impacts the Indian monsoon. That is Indian Ocean Dipole. Indian Ocean Dipole is a temperature difference in Indian Ocean. There are two types of Indian Ocean Dipole, a positive Indian Ocean Dipole and a negative Indian Ocean Dipole. A positive IOD means the waters in Western Indian Ocean, that is near Africa, the water became warmer, and in the waters near Indonesia, that is in Eastern Pacific Ocean, the water became cooler. So the Western Pacific Ocean becomes warmer and the Eastern Pacific Ocean becomes cooler. So this condition is called positive Indian Ocean Dipole. So the name itself derives that it is positive for India because it positively impacts the Indian Ocean and Indian monsoon. So during positive Indian Ocean Dipole, India gets more rainfall due to Indian monsoon. The opposite of this is negative Indian Ocean Dipole. It means the Western Pacific Ocean becomes cooler and the the Western Indian Ocean becomes cooler and the Eastern Indian Ocean becomes warmer. So this adversely impacts the Indian monsoon and leads to lesser rainfall for India. So basically the positive Indian Ocean Dipole is positive for Indian monsoon and more rainfall happens. The negative Indian Ocean Dipole is negative for Indian monsoon and it leads to lesser rainfall. So El Nino, La Nina, Indian Ocean Dipole, all of these factors affect the Indian monsoon. Now predicting the ENSO and its effects on monsoon is a very challenging due to many reasons. Firstly, the El Nino and La Nina do not always produce the same result. Only 60% of drought or surplus years can be linked to ENSO. So this indicates that many other factors play a major role in leading to rainfall. The next one is unexpected shift in sea surface temperature. For example, in 2024, La Nina was expected to develop, but the cooling in Pacific Ocean was not strong enough, so thereby it disrupted the forecast. The third important challenge is wind pattern changes, including the variations of trade winds and westerlies can complicate the ENSO. Apart from ENSO and Indian Ocean Dipole, several other factors affect the Indian monsoon. For example, the jet streams, which are fast moving winds in the upper atmosphere, also play a crucial role in the weather system. So all of these factors combined contribute to the change in weather patterns, and predicting the ENSO or Indian Ocean Dipole or the Indian monsoon becomes complicated due to this unpredictable shift. And this is the main question regarding this topic. Interested aspirants can use it. With this, let us wind up the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.